Hi, Studio Kids. Mrs. Kazar here. I hope that you're doing well. I have a read aloud for you tonight. It's called Zach Gets Frustrated and is actually recommended to me by one of my former students, Ezekiel. And I think it's very timely because I'm guessing that a lot of us are feeling some frustration right now, and it's healthy to work through your frustration. And so in the story, Zach's dad teaches him how to name it, how to tame it, and how to reframe it so he can have a more positive and productive day. So we all need help with that because everyone gets frustrated. Moms, dads, teachers, your principal, your grandma, grandpa, neighbors, your brother, sister. We all do. So let's work through it together, and I'll check in with you at the end of the book. Thank you so much. Zach Gets Frustrated by William McCaughey, illustrated by Darren McKee. I'm going to dedicate this read aloud to my dear friend Ezekiel. Thank you, Ezekiel, for this great book recommendation. It is so helpful. Thank you. Zach lifted his kite and ran across the beach. He hoped this time the breeze would catch it, but like the other times he tried, the kite just fluttered and dived into the sand. Oh, poor Zach. Bummer. Stupid kite, Zach said. Since the day began, it seemed like nothing was going his way, and now his kite wouldn't fly. Zach tried to relax, but it's hard to calm down when your breath is heavy and you feel like screaming. When are we going home? He asked his dad. He's so frustrated. Oh, his dad and brothers are having a good time at the beach. What's the matter? Dad asked. You love the beach. Everything's going wrong today, Zach said, especially this dumb kite that doesn't even fly. Dad curled his toes into the soft sand. You sound pretty frustrated. So can we go home or what? Zach asked. Well, your brothers and I are having a good time, Dad said. What if I show you a way to help yourself feel better so you can enjoy yourself too? Then we can all stay. I can't enjoy myself. This is worse than the day I threw up at school. It's a pretty bad day. Let's give it a try, Dad said. There are 3 steps I follow that help me handle my frustration. The first step is to name it. He wrote that in the sand by a corner of the kite. Name it. Ha, Zach said. I already have a name for it. Stupid, stinking, idiotic, no fun kite. Zach's dad just gave him a funny look. All right, Zach said. What do you mean? Frustration is what we feel when things don't go the way we want them to, his dad said. It's important to talk about the things that frustrate you. That's why you name it. You say in words what the problem is. Do you ever get frustrated? Zach asked. Oh yeah, remember last week when I had so much trouble fixing Alex's bike chain? Dads get frustrated too. Yeah, you pinched your finger and you got grease on your shirt. You were pretty mad. Pretty frustrated, Dad said. So what made you frustrated? Zach thought. I guess I'm frustrated because I can't fly this kite. He named it. Good job, Zach. Okay, said Dad. Now the second step is to tame it. That means using your chill skills to help your mind and body relax. You can take a deep breath, count slowly to 10, or concentrate on a nice sound like ocean waves. Dad said, here's one I really like. I squeeze my face and hand real tight for a few seconds and then let go. When you let the tension go, you get more relaxed than you were before. Let me show you. Good job. Let it go, Dad. Zach wasn't in the mood to scrunch up his face and hands, but his dad had taught him some other chill skills. The trick was to practice 1 or 2 that you like so you remember them easily. You can stretch, you can meditate, picture something you love, like your dog. Zach closed his eyes and listened to the waves crashing onto the beach. He breathed in slowly through his nose and out through his mouth. Then he did it again, in through his nose and out through his mouth. He felt his body loosening up. Good, Dad said. Now you're ready for the last step. Reframe it. Reframe it, Zach asked. It means you look at the problem in a new way. When the kite wouldn't fly, I bet you said lots of negative things in your head. I bet you've been thinking crappy thoughts all day. Zach realized his dad was right. A voice in his head had been saying, this is the worst day in history of the world, and other grumpy things. He thought about those grumpy thoughts again. His best friend Sonia chose to go to the theme park with another friend instead of coming to the beach with Zach. Nobody likes me, he thought. He dropped his toothbrush in the toilet. I hate mornings. He stepped on the edge of the litter box and it spilled over the floor and his foot. Worst day ever. That's a pretty bad morning. Poor Zach. See, your thoughts affect your feelings, Dad said. When you think things are bad, then you feel bad. Guess what happens when you change or reframe those bad things into good ones? Hmm, good thinking, Dad. What's the point? Zach said. Bad stuff still happened to me. If I had a magic wand, I'd make everything the way I want. You can't change what happened to you, Dad said, but you can change what you think about what happened. For example, when Sonia said she couldn't come, your thought was nobody likes me. Instead, try thinking Sonia is a good friend. I will see her soon. Zach thought about what his dad said, and he remembered that he and Sonia had a soccer game tomorrow, which was always fun. Surprisingly, he did feel a little better, so he thought about that voice in his head that said this was the worst day ever. He knew it wasn't really true, so he changed his thought. Good job, Zach. Zach said, This kite won't fly, but the beach is awesome. I love jumping in the waves. He looked out at the people splashing in the water. How do you feel? Asked Dad. Pretty good, I guess, but I'll never remember all those steps. I wonder if you will. Check this out, Dad said, tracing the kite. A triangle has 3 points, right? He pointed to the corners. Name it, tame it, reframe it. We'll call this the frustration triangle. The triangle was a good idea. Zach closed his eyes and practiced picturing the triangle with his words at each corner. With the words at each corner. When he saw name it, he'd say why he was frustrated. When he saw tame it, he'd do deep breathing or some other chill skill. And when he saw reframe it, he changed his negative thoughts to positive ones. Name it, tame it, reframe it. Like it. For now, he wanted to enjoy the beach, so he ran out into the waves to swim. When he got out of the water, maybe he'd try the kite again. Good job, Zach. Name it is number 1, tame it's number 2, number 3 is reframe it. When Zach uses frustration triangle, he handles his frustration in a healthy way instead of letting it get the best of him. For help with your frustration, you can use Zach's frustration triangle. Just like Zach, you can name it, tame it, and reframe it to help yourself feel better when things aren't going your way. Name it, tame it, reframe it. I love the frustration triangle. I'm going to use it myself. Oh, here, parents, here's some helpful thoughts for children handling frustration. We know that right now or any time that anyone can have some frustrations. So we encourage you to help your child and yourself with the frustration triangle. Thanks, Ezekiel, so much. This was an awesome book. I hope everybody uses the frustration triangle. Take care. Don't forget to name it, frame it, reframe it. No, tame it. Dang. What is it again? Let's think about it. It's name it, tame it. Oh, okay. Hi, Studio Kids. I hope you enjoyed the book. I hope that you learned that we all get frustrated, and it's important to work through your frustration, to name it, and to tame it, to find a way to calm down, and to reframe it to move on. And I know that Mr. Jonathan and Mr. Nick have worked with you on the taming part, on some chill skills. So a couple of things you might want to try are belly breaths, or remember lazy 8 breathing. So a lot of things that you can do to help regulate yourself. So thank you, Mr. Jonathan, Mr. Nick, for all of your help to our students. Parents, you may have noticed at the end of the book, there is a link to a PDF printout that you can print off the frustration triangle for your kids, and maybe that might be something that they can work on if you're finding some frustration at home, where they can name it, they can say what they did to tame it, and what they're going to do to reframe it. So I know I get frustrated. It happens all the time to all of us, and I have to do things like go on walks, exercise, schedule some time to play with my daughter, and right now it's snowing outside, so we have an indoor snowball fight scheduled. So I will see you soon. I hope that you have a great night. See you around. Bye. Oh, Brooklyn!